Hello, it's your boy JT, Jonah Teeman in the house. What is up, YouTube? Back at it again with another video. I'm not doing no ASMR this time. This is kind of more of a vlog style, but mainly in this topic of discussion, I wanted to discuss something with my fellow viewers. Kratom. This kratom right here, green vein, Mangda kratom. The green vein represents the strain, whereas Mangda represents where the strain was grown. In this case, Mangda is Thailand. Thailand is known for growing kratom strains that are more of a stimulant. Now, if you don't know anything about kratom, kratom or kratom is a natural herbal substance that works for a lot of things. Number one, it can boost your energy. Number two, if you take a higher dose of it, it can sedate you. Number three, it works well with pain relievers and people that are working on recovering from opiate withdrawals. And number four, it can work with mental issues, people with ADHD, autism, PTSD, bipolar. These kinds of things are things that kratom works for. In my case, I've been using light doses of kratom here recently. I've been experimenting, testing around with the substance, and so far I've only been using it for the purposes of energy. Say, over the past week, I've tried kratom 3 different times. And the only other time I tried kratom was when I first bought it in the summer. Now, in the summertime, I took maybe a little bit over 1 gram, and I did not notice any effects, but I also did not know what to look for. The guy selling me the kratom said it was a sexual stimulant, and I was like, I don't need a sexual stimulant. But then the guy told me that if you take enough kratom, if you take enough grams, it can make you really high. So I was just like, screw it. I like this guy. I like supporting his business. Why not buy this kratom off of him? He had so much kratom on the shelves. I mean, powdered form, capsule form, leaf form, liquid form. I mean, this guy had everything, and I decided to get the pills. Each pill has about 0.6 to 0.7 grams in it. So, on to the main story. A few days ago, at about 7 or 8 o'clock p.m., I tried 4 pills of kratom, or about 2.5 grams of kratom. And what happened to me, the effects, I noticed them within 30 to 60 minutes, and I was immediately energized. And not in a way that caffeine or Adderall or cocaine would energize you. I'm talking, I was stimulated but sedated at the same time. And the best way for me to explain it is like having a Monster energy drink or a Red Bull or a cup of coffee, but not getting those caffeine jitters. I did not like the jitters that caffeine gave me, so because of that, even with my off-the-charts ADHD, I've quit caffeine, and I rarely ever drink caffeine. I hate caffeine, and so for a long time, I've been looking for a natural supplement that would work with me and give me the energy that I need, since I used to take Adderall and Vyvanse as a prescription. Okay, so both Adderall, Vyvanse, caffeine have done a number of negative effects on my body. And I've heard that there is negative effects of kratom as well, but in my experience so far, I only need to take a bit less than 2 grams to get the desired effects that I want, which is energy, stimulation, focus, brain power. I feel like I can concentrate better on the task at hand. And I feel like when I'm under the effects of kratom, I feel like nostalgic, like a kid again. Like I'm curious about the little things, Like, for example, I'd be on my phone, but not just doing normal texting. Like, I would just be staring at my phone, intrigued by it, trying to figure out the different mechanics of the phone. But these past couple experiences with kratom, I took it one time at 8 o'clock p.m. and I took it another time a couple days later at 2 o'clock p.m. For both of those instances, I ended up staying up most of the night, not being able to fall asleep until 2, 3, 4 in the morning, because by that time, I still felt like I was stimulated by this kratom. So this morning, today, I took less kratom. I took about 1.5 grams or 3 pills instead of 4 or 5 like I would normally take. I took less, and then I set off to go do my work, and I found that right before I pulled up to my first job, the kratom kicked in, and I knew this because after taking the pills after a while, then I could taste the kratom in my breath. It has this bitter taste to it. And instantaneously, I'm not going to say I perked up. Like, the come up of this substance is very light and gradual. It starts off slow, and then within an hour of it taking its initial effect, it then begins to gradually peak into more of a stimulation now. I've never experimented with a higher dose than 2.5 grams of kratom, but I did hear that higher doses like 4, 5, 6, all the way to 8 or 10 grams can cause something similar to an opiate effect. My reason for taking kratom is not for opiates. I was never an opiate addict. I was never a drug addict. I was never an addict to stimulants or uppers. I was more intrigued with downers. But because I have ADHD and because I have focus problems, my experience with kratom has only benefited me so far. Now, when I took 5 pills the other day, I experienced a big wave of nausea that overtook my body. Although I was hungry and practically starving, I was nauseated. I had a couple of alcoholic drinks, and I do not recommend mixing alcohol with kratom. It will cause the effect of the kratom to be very intense, and for me, for this instance, it caused me to throw up. I was overwhelmed with nausea and sickness to my stomach feeling, and I went to the toilet and made myself throw up. No big deal. After I threw up, I felt fine. Then I cooked dinner, but then once I ate my dinner, I could barely eat it because I was overwhelmed with nausea. As long as I didn't eat or drink, I felt fine, but that's not the point. The point of this video log today is discuss the early experiences of kratom that I've had in life, so that mainly I can look back on this when I've had some later experiences in kratom, reflect on myself, reflect on my experience, and follow my own advice, do what's best for me and my body. But for anybody that may be curious about kratom or want to try it, I would say don't try it. I don't recommend it unless there's a reason for you to try it. When it started off for me, there was no reason for me to try it, but now I feel like there is. After experimenting with it at different times, different places, different environments, I have found that taking kratom, just a very light dose in the morning, helps me to get my work done, helps me to concentrate, helps me to focus, gives me energy in all the areas that I need without giving me the jitters. I don't like caffeine because it gives me the jitters, but kratom has not given me the jitters. It's a good substance, in my opinion, but with that being said, any substance can be abused. Any substance can be addictive. Kratom is addictive, and do not use it more than once a day. This is Jonah Tiemann signing out. Peace.